Peace to the family, peace to the family, peace to the family. Welcome to another rendition or edition of Hope for Hip Hop presents. Today we're gonna be discussing just hip hop as a practical way of life. I know we talked about and discussed a little bit yesterday about hip hop and what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and expand on that today. I'm gonna go ahead and expand on that today. Um, and go ahead and talk about it because I realize that people at church today, there's a lot of folks in a lot of these churches today. And by the way, black churches make $2 million every week, $2 million a week. There's no way we're broke. So that will go ahead and dispel the what is it the $1 billion in spending power, whatever they call it. Because 2 million a week with just one institution, and that's 52 weeks. You can go ahead and do the math on that, right? And that's just what's reported. That's just what's possibly counted and audited. So I'm not asking for any money, but if you want to go ahead and donate, please go ahead and do so. You can catch my cash tags. That's cash tag Hope for Hip Hop. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in here too. That's cash tag Hope for Hip Hop. Or and it's for the school. And I realize that there's a lot of folks talking about building a lot of things and doing a lot of things for our community, but um, for me, this is important work, and this is work that I've been doing for a very long time, and I'm now allowing others in on it in terms of, just that. I wanted to be able to study the craft and have a level of mastery and expertise in the craft prior to, me just coming out here like, yo, I do this, right? So there's always a level of study attached, and there's always a level of execution attached in terms of executing the plan. So, uh, how can I? Okay. Yeah, there it is. All right, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. Appreciate you all joining us here today. This is Hope for Hip Hop. I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. Again, if you want to donate, that's cash tag Hope for Hip Hop. That's cash tag, which is the $HOPE, the number four, HIPHOP. That'll come straight to us here at Truth Media. This is just one of our community projects um, to really teach. This is one of our educational projects, which is really to teach on these principles and really have an opportunity to hold hip hop, the culture, from a cultural standpoint, to a higher standard, because it's a lot of stuff going on. So this is kind of to unionize it a little bit, unite, for sure. Also to just spread the word, spread the love, and stuff like that. I'm literally doing this from my bed because I'm not feeling the best today, but got to get done. So we're reading from the Gospel of Hip Hop, the first instrument presented by none other than the KRS-One, Knowledge Reigning Supreme for the Temple of Hip Hop. You can go ahead and purchase this piece of literature, anthology, scholar book, whatever you want to call it, right from Amazon. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the link as well. Go ahead and do that now so I don't forget. Peace to you, family. I see you, brothers. I see you, sister. I see y'all. Go ahead and copy the book right there. That's that link right there. Boom, and go straight to it. And actually, if you want to read along, go ahead and click the link. And then when you click on the book, it's going to bring up the first three chapters, one being a new covenant, which is what I'm reading from. So if you don't have the literature, you don't have the book, go ahead and click the link that I just put in the comments so that we can read along together. Just to give a quick, hold on, let me paste this other link here. Um, boom, bang, pow. Bam. Why is not going in? I'll put the link on there. So anyway, I'm gonna just go ahead and proceed. Um, so with all of that done, said, blah blah blah, go like that. Okay, cool. With all that said and done, I hope you guys brought it up. Hope you guys were able to click the link. Let me give a quick shout out to the beat maker, producer of this track. It is on YouTube on the Union Beats. Shout out to the Union Beats crew team. They are at theunionbeats at gmail.com. That's theunionbeats.com. And the email is theunionbeats at gmail.com. You can also hit them up on Twitter. They're on Twitter, the Union Beats. I do not have an affiliate deal. I do not have any sort of agreement or nothing like that, but this is listed as a free beat. It's listed as a free Jay-Z type beat called Demons, instrumental by Devin Terrell. Got a gang of views and listens, so I'm sure people were spitting over the top of this track because it's hot. Anywho, so let's get back to the text and the literature in which we are here for. Bam, bam. All right. So we left off at page 7 yesterday. Again, we're reading chapter called A New Covenant. We read from verse 1 to verse 16, where it discusses a lot about I am hip hop, I live hip hop, I do not do hip hop, I am hip hop, and all of those things, and really speaking to the future generations of hip hop in general. And they go ahead and explains KRS One's positioning as hip hop is instituted, as well as some others. So let's see. We're gonna go ahead and go to page 8. And see, the thing about reading over these beats is that at any moment you can just go ahead and pop a freestyle. Like you can just go ahead off the top or whatever I read. I might even read it to the beat just to make it a little bit more hip hop ish and engaging and all of that stuff because that's what hip hop is. It's never boring, it never flops, and all of that. So starting on the top of page 8, if you're there, if you go ahead and click the book on the link that I placed it in the description on Amazon.com, click the book, and it'll go ahead and show you the first 3 chapters, one of which I'm reading called A New Covenant, and I'm starting on page 8, verse 17. Let's get into it. Actually, I'm going to continue verse 16. I'm going to just start at the beginning of verse 16. So this is to all the hustlers, all the thugs and gangsters trying to survive in these mean streets. This is your gospel. This is your gospel. To all my gods, goddesses, revolutionaries, street scholars, and conscious hip hoppers, this is your heritage and birthright. This is the good news for you. All praise, glory, and worship be to God, the love that loved us first as hip hop. And I think that's dope because it said the love, capital letter L, the love that first loved us, right? First as hip hop, right? And I can appreciate that love coming from the creator, the love being, the love energy, the love force behind everything, loves hip hop, okay? There's a lot of cats hating on hip hop in general. And the very fact that God, the almighty, powerful being force, loves hip hop and created hip hop makes it all the more significant to me. Okay. And I know there's a lot of things created out there that people say, oh, God does this, God ain't gonna do that. But one thing for sure, according to this text, God loves hip hop. Okay. And he loves us first as hip hop. Okay, so if you are hip hop, if you consider yourself hip hop, this is uppercase HIP, uppercase HOP, the culture, then you're loved. Know that. Know that. Know that you have an entire community that loves you and got mad love for you and want to see you do nothing but succeed. So let's go ahead and proceed. Verse 17, God is real and hip hop is evidence of God's real existence and love. Hip hop is God's response to our suffering, and this gospel celebrates that response and the personal character that caused such divine responses to occur. All praise, glory, and worship be to God, the love that topples whole kingdoms and sets up new civilizations from the debris of the unrepentant. We are humble before God, the author of hip hop. Other cultures and nations were created in other ways, for other reasons, and have certain divine responsibilities that they adhere to. Other cultures have a certain grace over their communities, and we are not authorized or encouraged to demean or disrespect in any way the faith and or religious practices of others. Okay? And I know a lot of us probably grew up religious, most of us anyway. That doesn't necessarily have to be, Christian, Jew, Muslim type thing or Islam. Um, but it could just be whatever that faith was, right? There's a lot of them. And so this is saying here that we're not going to discriminate. We're not going to hate on what works for people, right? Hip hop is not here to hate on nobody, no religious figures, none of that. We're actually here to incorporate and help expand the knowledge of those things. And this is what that is. This is expansion, right? Modern day. So as new information comes, as new science is experimented and experienced, and new things are formulated, we're here to share that information as it pertains to hip hop. Um, so where am I? Verse 19. But as for our group, commonly known in the world as hip hop, that's uppercase letters, this gospel acknowledges and celebrates the love that has saved our people from self destruction. It is time to repent and grow up. Rapping about crime and murder may sound good amongst those who have never committed such acts. But for those of us who are real in the field, we send this message to our young people. You don't really want it. You don't really want it. In other words, he's saying you don't want that life. You don't want that fake gangster life because it come with real consequences. That's true facts. Speaking facts here. Before with this instrument, this is verse 20. For with this instrument, we remember God and how we were rescued by unseen forces more powerful than any government on earth. But when all seemed hopeless and oppression seemed permanent, a caring, protective, nurturing, creative force independent of all the world's politics, business, educational, and religious institutions swept through our hearts and homes, and we were rescued from sickness, hatred, ignorant, ignorance, and poverty with a behavior that we eventually began to call hip hop. Those are uppercase letters. And we must never forget this. Never forget this. With this first instrument written at the time of hip hop's cultural beginnings, we remind all future generations of hip hop to never forget the love that has saved us from self destruction. Hip hop has no other creator, no other savior, and no other architect. Love alone takes credit for the creation and further development of hip hop because before we even knew we were hip hop, God, the love that saved us from corruption, had already ordained us as such and set us free in the world with power. What a great gift. What a great love. What a great God. But how soon did we forget? After we had eaten and were satisfied, how hungry we were just a moment ago. How quick did we forget our own strategies to our own success? We ate the fruit but never replenished the seed. We ate the fruit but never replanted the seed. We drove the car far but never looked at the gas tank meter. Verse 24, know this. God's love, hip hop, is like a car that many people found with a full tank. Right? Many people found this with a full tank. And let's see, let me start over. My bad. My bad. Got distracted a little bit. Verse 23. I'm sorry, verse 24. Know this, God's love, hip hop, is like a car that many people found with a full tank of gas topped off and ready to go. A gift, freely given to all who would hop in. Now that we have driven this car for over 30 years through all kinds of terrain, the time has come to repair and replenish our beloved vehicle so that it may last another 30 years. However, now that everyone has gotten where they intended to go using the vehicle, there seems to be a little motivation. Excuse me. However, now that everyone has gotten where they intended to go using the vehicle, there seems to be little motivation toward the upkeep of the vehicle itself, the cause of everyone's good fortune. God's love, hip hop, is like a banquet laid out before hungry people. Many people today are eating well, but they are not the chefs of their own meal. They eat, but they don't really know where the food comes from or even how it was prepared. They themselves were never truly hungry or homeless or even had to prepare their own food for themselves. They just sat down, started eating, and had already laid out table. Therefore, the life lessons learned from being hungry and homeless, which accompany the skills of the chef, are absent from the copied presentations of the imitator. And any success found during this state of ignorance is indeed short lived. This is how many today treat God in hip hop. They seek the hands and not the face. They seek the luxury, but not the culture. The food, but not the appetite. The house, but not the home. The medicine, but not the health. The bed, but not the rest. They would rather use God, hip hop, than live God in hip hop. But such acts are of desperation, and such behaviors are expected of a people who have been traumatized as we have been. Hip hop saved us and made us not only rich, but important and well respected worldwide. How then can we forget God, the love that protected us and raised us up? How can we forget about hip hop, the craft that feeds us and gives us identity? However, in my time, your past, many have already forgotten the love of God. Desperate and impoverished, and suddenly propelled to the top of the world's social circles, they marvel at the effects of their own artistic skills, caring little for the cause of such skills. They just want to eat. And because they know not what causes their good fortune, they have become frantic and greedy, content with being imitators of the original presenters of saving force, hip hop. Such an approach works fine for those who are not really serious about living hip hop for real. Such an approach to hip hop works fine if you're only participating in hip hop to get out of poverty or to make a name for yourself. This approach works if you got something else to do and or somewhere else to go. But for those of us who live hip hop and seek enlightenment through hip hop and are seeking to raise a family while being an MC or DJ, etc., those of us who are without purpose, as well as those of us who are burdened with purpose, we have no time to waste. No time to waste. At this very moment, while you read this gospel, you are being called out of the world again for your own protection and development. Will you answer the call this time? Will you answer the call this time? Repent. God is closer to you than your nose. Now is the time to take your hip hop spiritual life more seriously. Read that again. Now is the time to take your hip hop spiritual life more seriously. Now is the time to align your hip hop identity with God's nature and not be distracted by the doubts and, and suspicions of others. Now is the time to declare, I am hip hop, and begin living from that realization in God. Hip hop is your birthright. Let me read that again. Now is the time to declare. I'm reading verse 31, chapter 1, in the chapter called A New Covenant. And this is page 11. I attached a link. For those of you just joining us, I attached a link in the comments where we'll take you to the book. If you don't have it, it'll take you to the text, to the literature, the gospel of hip hop, the first instrument presented by KRS-One for the Temple of Hip Hop. Okay, so go to that link, click on the book itself, and it's going to bring you up a sample Kindle version. Okay, they sell it on Kindle, I believe $11.99. The hardback, I believe, is like $20, $23, something like that, $25. Okay, online on Amazon. If you got Amazon Prime, you can go ahead and get it delivered for free, probably by tomorrow. Okay, but if you call yourself hip hop and you are a scholar, you need this text, you need this book, you need this guiding light, so that we can collectively together use it as a uniting force. I didn't say a united front, I said a uniting force in hip hop. It's time to call hip hop to a higher degree of accountability. And that's what this is doing right here. But it's also informing us. It's also, showing us what we never knew. Perhaps what we never knew. From the perspective of, the grand master, grand blaster, teacher, wordsmith, word warrior, and the master teacher, KRS-One. From what I'm told, it took about 13 years to pen this text. Have you spent 13 years penning a text of hip hop to call it to order from the beginnings to the present time? I believe that's why it's called the first instrument, because it's just the first one. If you call yourself hip hop, write your manual. This is hip hop's manual. This is hip hop's gospel. And it's calling us to take our hip hop spiritual life more seriously. So let me go back to, hopefully you guys are there if you want to follow along, if you're listening, if you're driving. I appreciate you tuning in, and I appreciate the support. This is Hope for Hip Hop. Follow the hashtag. Follow the hashtag. If you want to donate, go ahead and hit the hashtag. That's hashtag Hope, the number 4 Hip Hop. That's hashtag Hope, the number 4 Hip Hop. Hope for Hip Hop. I presented by us in association with Truth Media Global, Able Recordings, and More Enterprises. Okay, let's get into it. Verse 31. Repent. God is closer to you than your nose. Now is the time to take your hip hop spiritual life more seriously. Now is the time to align your hip hop identity with God's nature and not be distracted by the doubts and suspicions of others. Now is the time to declare, I am hip hop, and begin living from that realization in God. Hip hop is your birthright. Hip hop is your birthright. It may not be anyone else's birthright, but it is indeed yours. And if you decide to throw away your birthright because of doubts of others, it is only you that suffers, family, because they are maintaining their birthrights and cultures with faith, while you destroy your heritage with doubt. Now is the time to actually become hip hop, to actually be the nation we know we are. Such a life, however, is not for everyone. Such a life is not for everyone. Okay? Oh, that's my place. Such a life is not for everyone. However, many amongst us are just trying to use hip hop's artistic elements to escape poverty. And when we have attained the money, power, and worldly respect of escaping poverty through hip hop, we don't see or hear from them anymore. They and their careers vanish. Today, see now, what is it? Verse 33. This is why today is the greatest moment for hip hop and hip hoppers. Now that the desperate part of our family has been fed, clothed, and sheltered, they are gone. Read that again. Now that the desperate part of our family has been fed, clothed, and sheltered, they are gone. Hip hop itself was never their focus. They just wanted to use hip hop, lowercase HIP, lowercase HOP, to relieve their own suffering. And once such suffering was dealt with, they, the desperate, went on to do acting, open businesses, and basically live as the rest of the world does. But this was never the intention for hip hop or hip hoppers. This was never the intention for hip hop, capital letters, or hip hoppers, capital H. As we observed now within our 36-year history, 1973 to 2009, hip hop was a saving force. If hip hop didn't do anything else, it actually did in real history. I'm sorry, what it actually did in real history is rescue the children of scattered and impoverished people from certain death. Yes, hip hop, uppercase letters, has inspired the development of breaking, MCing, graffiti art, DJing, beatboxing, street fashion, street language, street knowledge, and street entrepreneurialism. But all of this and all of these elements basically did one thing: they saved us. So now that we and the desperate part of our family have been satisfied, they, the desperate, are no longer in our way. We now have the liberty to explore the true meaning and purpose of hip hop, capital letters. The love that freed us from oppression, because the music industry has finally collapsed in my time. All praise, glory, and worship be to God, the love that freed us from exploitation and slavery. We're going to end right there. That's verse 35. We're going to end right there. Chapter 1, A New Covenant, verse 35. That's on page 12. And there's a lot there to unpack. There's a lot there to unpack. I just read from page 8 at the top to page 12 in the middle. I ended on verse 35. So let's go ahead and open up for discussion. I'm switching back and forth here from social media pages and all that stuff. Have questions, put them in the text in the comment section. If you have comments, put them in the comment section. This is a spiritual teaching on hip hop here. I'm going to go ahead and call that, because this is again calling our culture to order. So if you call yourself hip hop, I'm calling you to order. That's uppercase HIP, uppercase HOP. Okay? That's not lowercase HIP, lowercase HOP. I'm going to go ahead and spell the differences in the comments as well, so we know what we're looking at. I'm going to be my own moderator and all that. This is how we get it done. Okay? This is how we get it done. You know, ain't no different. Hip hop always been an innovative force in all that we do. So hip hop versus hip hop versus hip hop. Okay, you look up those definitions, and again, if you click that link and then you click on that book, it's going to go ahead and show you the first 3 chapters of the Gospel of Hip Hop, the first instrument presented by KRS-One for the Temple of Hip Hop. It's going to go ahead and show you the imagery. It's going to go ahead and show you what the book looks like, and then it's going to give you the first 3 chapters of the book for free. It's the Kindle version. So if you have Kindle, You want to get the entire book, it's $11.99. If you want to go ahead and have the hard copy on your bookshelf, on the mantle, on your bedside, in the car with you while you're traveling, I recommend all of those and just go ahead and get the hardback. And then while you're reading it, people gonna look at you like, "Whoa, what's that?" Because it looks just like the Bible. But this is hip hop's Bible, right? This is hip hop's gospel. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and disclose a little bit about myself as we get into this information. Okay, so I grew up in church, Christian church, my whole life, and went into ministry at a very young age, and I've been essentially preaching and teaching ever since in some capacity, whether that be through music, being in music ministry, whether that being in media ministry, whether that just being in the street ministry, as far as like out here in these streets, praying with folks, sharing the good news of that Bible that I had in my hand at the time, and just being a light as it called me to be, as I was called to be, and I'm still called to be a light. Make no mistake. However, I have since expanded my knowledge and information as it pertains to the universe, and am no longer a part of any specific religion. And I am aware, and I do know that people do use hip hop as a religion, as a religious practice, and as a spiritual practice, as we see in the text. And so you can adopt this as a spiritual system for yourself if you wish to, and you can add it to whatever practices you have now because it's in union and in communion with these things. And I know that the Bible will say, don't add or take away from it and all this stuff, but I just say, miss me on that because there's a lot in the world to add to a lot of things. And and we ain't got to get into the, too deep, but I did go to seminary, I did go to Christian college, I did go to Bible college. And I wouldn't necessarily just hop on here and debate me on these things because half of y'all who are Christians didn't do none of those, and most of y'all don't read your Bible on a daily basis anyway. So we're not gonna get into all that because I'm not calling nobody out, especially since the text is showing us that we're not gonna hate on anybody else's religion or religious practices and things that work for them. So that's more of a personal thing that I'll probably just share later in another video. However, I'm just speaking from experience and my own experience from growing up, again, in church my whole life and in ministry for a long time. Okay. So, but in my experience, again, people who have read the entire Bible through are the ones that end up seeking further enlightenment and being called by God in another way and end up stepping away from religious practices, which I support. Because once you get new information, you gotta change. You gotta switch up. You know what I'm saying? Especially if this is proven information historically and the like, as you just continue to study. And I just say keep studying. It's gonna lead you to a new belief. And don't be afraid of that. It's okay. It's okay, right? Like God is leading you to a higher consciousness to expand yourself. Like I feel like Christianity is such a small fraction of knowledge. And some people are like, oh, well, it's deep and it's this and it's that, and it is. The book is deep. But when you go to other books too, the world, the universe is a lot deeper. And so I just encourage not to ever only study from one book. And I believe that when KRS was penning this Gospel of Hip Hop, he called it the first instrument because he's like, yo, this is not the end all be all. Although this is higher level consciousness type stuff, everyone can add to it and everyone can participate as being a part of hip hop culture itself. So, in saying all of that, I'm saying, y'all, peace and blessings to you. I see you. I see you, sis. Give thanks. So what we're saying here is we gotta call hip hop to a higher standard. Again, it's one of the most vital forces in the world right now. Okay, one of, if not the. Okay, and that's the music. The music is what's pushing it forward. But we give thanks for the musical side and the artistic side of things. And I'm not gonna diss. People talk about trap music and all the music today, and I don't get it. These kids this and these kids that. But you know what? You were once a kid. You were once a child. You were once doing your thing and rapping about stuff that you didn't know nothing about and all of that stuff. And that's not the point of purpose. The point of purpose really is to unite, right? This is hip hop was created for peace, love, unity, and fun, also known as joy. Okay, by and where in a place where it was impoverished greatly. So understanding the greatness that hip hop has come to come out of poverty, and I believe Jay Z said that out of poverty, like you gave me nothing and I made something doing. Like look at Jay now, right? He said out of nothing I got something, and now that something is one of the greatest forces in the world from nothing, from absolutely being the most again impoverished, okay, of our time. So again, we're gonna go ahead and define once again, and I love doing this because a lot of people think they know what hip hop is. A lot of folks think they know what hip hop is. It's not Drake's first song, and it's not the hottest Migos track and all of that stuff. I'm not saying that that's not hip hop music, but we're gonna go ahead and define what part of hip hop that is, though. What kind of hip hop that is? What are you listening to? What are you paying attention to? What are you consuming as a consumer, right? Not just purchasing, but consuming, because a lot of music today is not purchased, but it is consumed. What are you consuming? What are you putting in your mind, in your body, in your heart? And that's very important. So, if you are following us once again, we are reading from the Gospel of Hip Hop. The Gospel of Hip Hop. Yes, the hip hop has a gospel. Yes, it has a holy book. Yes, 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 yes. I know this may be news to a lot of us, but hip hop gospel, right? The Gospel of Hip Hop, the first instrument presented by none other than KRS-One, the great master teacher for the Temple of Hip Hop. Okay, we're gonna go to page 63. That's chapter 3. It's chapter 3. Okay, page 63. And it's in a chapter called The Promised Land. I'm sorry, it's in a chapter called The First Overstanding, subset Real Hip Hop. The First Overstanding, subset Real Hip Hop. Now, I don't know if this is on the free version online, if you're clicking on the Amazon link to find the book. When you click on the book, it's going to go ahead and give you a good 3 chapters for free to read. A good 3 chapters, but it's a good 3 chapters, though. I'm telling you, this is heat. It's written like the Bible. When you look at the book, it looks like a Bible. You're like, man, that's the Bible. Nah, it's the Bible for hip hop, though. It's the gospel of hip hop, though. You know what I'm saying? And imagery is everything. So we're going to go ahead and go to page 63 in a chapter called The First Overstanding, subset Real Hip Hop. Verse 26, and I read this yesterday. Verse 26 says, hip hop, capital HIP, lowercase HOP, is the name of our creative force in the world. The name of our creative force in the world, our lifestyle and collective consciousness. That is capital HIPHOP. Phonetically is written like hi-fi. Okay, hi-fi. Verse 27, page 63 once again in the first overstanding. Hip hop, capital HIP, capital HOP, is the name of our culture and artistic elements. The name of our culture and artistic elements. That's hip hop. So when you see hip hop written in capital letters or capital H's, that's the culture. Why? Because culture is always spelled with a capital letter. If you're African American, that is spelled with a capital letter. If you're just American, it's spelled with a capital letter. Canadian, capital letter. African, capital letter. Right? Mexican, capital letter. Dominican, capital letter. Haitian, capital H or capital A. Haitian is AY, right? Jamaican, all that is capital letters. Culture, it's countries, all that stuff is nations. So we are also a uniting force and nation of hip hoppers, right? And all things pertaining to hip hop. So when we go to verse 28, we discuss hip hop lowercase letters. Lowercase HIP dash lowercase HOP. Now that's rap music and products. It is the mainstream and the mainstream activities. So that's rap slash rap music, products, and its mainstream activities. Hip hop, mainstream activity. How you spell it? lowercase HIP, lowercase HOP. That's hip hop. Half the things you're listening to is that version of hip hop. It's just a product. It's a mainstream activity. Okay? And I spoke yesterday about this because a lot of folks nowadays are trying to have trap yoga and hip hop yoga and all this stuff, but they haven't gone through and talked to anyone in the culture about it. They're not the culture, and they are, I feel, exploiting the culture. So don't make us pull up to these yoga these yoga spots with our yoga mat and call you out, because we will, and we are. We're on our way, actually. If you know folks that got, oh, it's a trap yoga class over here, over there, some in Santa Monica, man, that ain't nowhere near trap. But here's the thing: you want to hate on trap, demonize trap, arrest the trap makers, right? Like the cats who make the songs and demonize them. Yeah, you get to profit on trap music by having it in the yoga class when you haven't gone through anyone in the culture itself. You haven't been indoctrinated in the culture to add this to your repertoire. And that's actually misappropriation, right? And it's not appreciating; it is appropriation, and it's definitely misappropriating the hip hop culture. So I'm here to call that out. And hip hop is a force originally brought to us by Africans and African Americans and Jamaicans and Jamaican Americans and Caribbeans and actual in Africa, right? Stemming from Afrobeat. Shout out to Fela Kuti. Okay, the messaging, right? So we give thanks and love to all of our foremothers and forefathers of hip hop. And I don't know all of them, but all of those who have crossed over. R.I.P. Rest in love, rest in the love of hip hop, rest in the love of God, rest in the love of our collective consciousness and our culture and our being. We see high vibrations and up to your spirit to connect to it, as well as high vibrations to your families as here. And remain here on earth and your fans and friends and all those things, as we are all one. Um, so I don't see any further questions. Let me go ahead and say peace to you, sister. Peace, peace. Ashe. Ashe. I love it though. Like for real, for real. I love it. I love it, love it. Let's see. So if we really want to discuss this thing, like if you have students, you have cousins, everybody love hip hop. Look, we're trying to unite hip hop. And really what prompted me is this whole you can't do hip hop no more, or you young kids, and it says ageism in hip hop. I don't believe in ageism at all, first of all. And I definitely don't believe it has a place in hip hop. Do you know of any R&B, and you may, but think of the old school R&B heads. I'm talking the Al Greens, okay? I'm talking the Patti LaBelle's, okay? I'm talking the Anita Bakers, right? I'm talking the Gladys Knight and the Pips, okay? Do you see them dissing Tank? You see them dissing LMA. You see them dissing Alicia Keys, or Usher, or what I'm saying, like any of the new cats. You see them dissing any of them? Then you can't sing. Nah, girl, you ain't that. You ain't this. Nah. They only do that in hip hop. They only try to pit us against one another in this culture called hip hop, yo. And I say that we just go ahead and call bullshit and proceed forward, because all of us in our respective positions are pushing the culture forward, whether it's in the latest trap joint or a film or a YouTube video or what have you. But here's the thing: you're either adding to the chaos or you're adding to the healing. And my whole thing is about healing and allowing us to be healed in and through hip hop, because we can. Because we can. Okay? There's a lot of things that come up when I listen to certain beats and certain things. there's a lot of things that come up in my spirit that I deal with just through hip hop alone, just through a track, through an instrumental track like this. Because once your mind starts going, and if you're an MC, you would just start freestyling on the beat, right? You would just in your mind even. It may never even come out your lips, but you feel it. And what you're speaking to is your own spirit. What you're speaking to is your own self. You're really going deep within yourself to really deal with a lot of shit that you live and deal with every day. But if we don't allow these things to come up, so that we can get rid of these attitude actions that can be seen as, man, our evil selves, our negative selves, our demonic selves, or whatever you want to call it. We need some healing, man. We need some healing in these spaces. And there's no surprise to me that, suicide rates are up, depression is up, anxiety is up among people, even people who call themselves hip hop, right? It's no surprise. I mean, I'm sure people are surprised, but we shouldn't be surprised. This very social media tool, how many of us are using it for good? I'm talking good. I'm not talking about, oh yeah, I sent a meme out yesterday, or I got this meme, I screenshotted it and then put it back up on Instagram or on my feed or whatever. Like, that's cool. And I hope somebody sees that and it changes them. But truly, beyond the tap of your finger on your phone or your tablet or your computer, what are we really doing to build one another up? Really and truly. I'm doing a challenge with myself just to say hi to people on the street. You know why? Because people don't. I live in California, Southern California to be specific. Okay? People don't speak on the daily, on the regular. People don't say nothing at all. They could or they could not. Or they got a mean look on their face. And I said, I'm going to break up this paradigm. I'm going to try to break up this paradigm and just start saying hi to people and see how they respond, how they react. I should put it on. I should record it and put it up because it's very interesting. Because truth be told, I am invisible to a lot of people, especially and until I say hello. And that also depends on how I'm dressed that day, what my appearance looks and I'm thinking about even doing a further experiment to look, houseless, like I live, right? And hope to spark up conversations in and around hip hop to really school some cats, especially those who call themselves hip hop. I love when people say, "Oh yeah, I'm in the studio, me and my crew, we got this show, we got this, we're doing this on tour." And I ask them, "What kind of hip hop do you promote?" "Oh, hip hop music, you feel me?" And I'm like, "Is that hip hop?" Just start a conversation. It's not to judge them. It's just so that we can be on one accord and we can be on the same wavelength in terms of understanding what this is about. Because no matter what, hip hop was created by the individuals and communities and people that it was created by for the reasons that it was, and you can't change that. You can't change the reasons why it was created. You can't go in and go, you know what? No, hip hop's created for this reason and that reason and the third, and I say it because I mean it, and this is what I'm saying, and I'm in charge. And I don't know if we can really do that. What we can do is change the trajectory of the future. That's what we can do for sure. And it's not only through kids, but it's also through adults, through people 18 and up. Yes. Right? We are entering into another age, like the millennial generation. I guess they say that people who graduated in 2000, right? And I graduated in 2000. So it's kind of like we like the first class of the millennials, or the first, what I'm saying, the first, I guess. So that means we're the leaders of this generation. And so I take that serious, very, very serious. I take it serious as a heart attack, because if hip hop is gonna, it's gonna do what it's gonna do, it's gonna do it on our watch, on our time, but also it has to be spun out and delivered by people of the culture, not just random individuals who think that they can control this thing. You feel me? So with all of that said and all of that, I hope that this has enlightened some folks. Let this be your church on Sunday. If you don't go to church Sundays and you don't, do all of that, or before you go to church or right before, a Sunday school, whatever you want to get your hip hop on, come get your hip hop on. I'm gonna be here every Sunday morning because I want to, on a day where people are already kind of like opened up and spiritual and maybe even a little calmer and with their family, like more love and more, Sunday is kind of a day I've always seen as that, and I've always even experienced just more kindness in general. People will say, "Oh, don't cuss on Sunday" and all kind of stuff like that. And whether that's an indoctrination or that's just their own practice, generally to me Sundays seem to be kind of a milder day as it pertains to people being mean in the world. So I choose Sundays for that reason and for the reasons that it's the first day of the week. Yes, first day of the week. We're celebrating the Sunday, Sunday, as in sun god, like the sun. Yes, it's a day that we can look even at the sun. We can even talk about the sun in hip hop, right? Like how the sun. Man, we're gonna get into all of that. I don't even want to, just get all off. But again, please click the link if you can. If not, just go ahead and Google the Gospel of Hip Hop, the first instrument by none other than KRS-One for the Temple of Hip Hop. And if you click on the book, it'll come up in Amazon. When you click on the book itself, it'll give you 3 chapters of the Kindle version for free. I say you visit that joint every day. I say you go order the book, go back to the link, and read those 3 chapters as often as possible until you receive your own book and you can take it with you. Or if you just say, "Bump it, you know what? I got $11.99. I got $12. Let me go ahead and order the book on Amazon." And I'm really hoping that this money gets to the hip hop movement, to KRS-One, to like the publishers, Powerhouse, and all of that, because it's for the Temple of Hip Hop. It's to grow the temple. The Temple of Hip Hop is in New York. If you've never heard of it, never seen it, never whatever. And if you're already in New York, you already know that. Okay. So, New Yorkers, we appreciate you. Thank you. Y'all hella knowledgeable. Y'all hella, what I'm saying, on another level with it. And us over here on the West Coast, a lot of us are just knowing about these things, just getting started into these things, just, what I'm saying, just beginning in the beginnings of things. Um, Over here, and it's a different understanding. When you say hip hop education, they just think we educating about Drake or the latest hottest, rapper or something like that. But even though rap is a part of hip hop, as we explained, it's the product, right? Some products of some hip hoppers and some products of people who are not of the culture, but we know where that place is, and we know what we're consuming. We understand where that comes from. Okay, but we can't allow just that one genre thing to super circumvent any of the work, any of the intended purposeful meanings of why hip hop was created. Okay, we cannot forget that. We won't ever forget why and how R&B was, rhythm and blues. It was first called rock and roll. You better look it up. And for me, this is that. I will not allow on my watch, quote me if you want to, write it down, take a picture, right? We cannot allow for mainstream nothing or nobody, especially anybody outside of the culture, even if they're not mainstream, to take hip hop. Period. Period. Shots fired if you're trying to do that. Shots fired. Shots fired. Right? The battle is on. Straight up. You trying to take hip hop from the culture? You trying to go ahead and monetize every bit of it and not give to the culture? Shots fired. We not letting it happen. And I don't mean shots fired like I'm about to shoot them up. I'm saying like as in the slang term, because we speak hip hop over here. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We speak hip hop over here. Hip hop language, not in culture, culturally speaking and relevance, right? We're not speaking street, right? Street relevance in culture. We're speaking hip hop culture and relevance. Okay, and so when we say shots fired, we're like, we're hitting you up on that. We calling you out. In other words, we calling you out more than a call out, right? We might put it out there that, yo, that's not hip hop, don't support, or yes, support, or whatever it is, right? Because we have to call hip hop to order. Okay. Appreciate you, sis. I see you. Appreciate you for that. Peace and blessings. I'm gonna go ahead and insert an emoji for everybody that's online. That's online. We ain't sublime. I do it on a dime. I do it all the time. I do it in my rhymes. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. I do it in my rhymes. And it's just so sublime. Uh, mm, mm. Yeah, I'm gonna do that one. So yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, y'all. So real quick, if you have children and you want them to know these things, we are building a school, a homeschool effort. Yes, a homeschool effort to build skills, to build knowledge of self first. Okay, because I've already talked about African Americans being too American and not African, right? Understanding we've become too American and not enough African. Um, yeah, we have. We've forgotten our foremothers and forefathers. We've forgotten our motherland. Okay, when we talking about black on black business, and join the group Blacks on Black Business. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. Blacks on Black Business. When we talk about black business, um, we talk about, yeah, keeping our dollars black and everything, but we forget our own continent and our own native land. We forget, and this is not it, right? And if you're a Brit, if you're in the UK, that ain't it. If you are in Brazil, even the Caribbean, Latin America, North America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, any of the Asian countries, that's not it. If you are African in any of those places, that's not it. Your home is Africa. Africa, Africa, Africa. Yep. Shout out to Gil Sky Heron. I just got that inspiration from my ancestor. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate that message. Appreciate that love. And we just got to give thanks to our ancestors. Christians call them angels, but I call them ancestors. We got to give thanks to our ancestors for watching over us. We still here. We still strong. They done bred the strongest with the strongest in the world, and we strong. But join the movement. Join the Hope for Hip Hop movement. Join the Blacks on Black business movement. If you want help starting a business or becoming an entrepreneur, even if you're hip hop, you need to remain hip hop. Remain hip hop. That's who we are. You can be all who you are. Just understand you may not be able to be that answering phones at your current job, or doing sales at this position, or being a student over here, or a professor or a teacher over there, but you can be who you are in hip hop. You know what hip hop says? You got to do the damn thing. You got to do it well. Be skilled at your craft. If you're just starting out, learn. Don't be like these cats, and I ain't even gonna say the rainbow hair guy's name because he gets no love on my joint. Nah, not with fuckery like that. I get to hold you accountable, bruh. We got the gospel of hip hop right here, and there is no ageism, so you can't say, "Oh well, I'm only 19 or 20, and KRS is way up there. He almost 50, and so what? So what? You still get to be held accountable. If you want to be grown, we're going to treat you like you're grown. You feel me? Like your mama said when you're young. You want to act grown? I'm going to treat you like you're grown. Right? But also, like your mama said, when you in my house and you under my rules, this is what it is. Until you go build your own house. And this is that hip hop house, y'all. When you're under a hip hop house and hip hop's rules, you have to listen to hip hop. Period. 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 All right. So no more of the I didn't know, and nobody told me, and I didn't. What's the name of them had said, and what my teacher once said, and the radio guy, and the Breakfast Club had said, and all that stuff. I will say though, watch out for culture vultures. Watch out for culture vultures. Watch out for culture vultures. They got 360 deals, right? 360 deals. Even if you're not seeking a record deal, if you on this YouTube thing, huh, who you think did it? The same people who did the 360 deal. So I believe Lion Ass Cohen is a culture vulture, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the record. I do. I do. You don't know music. You're not hip hop. You just know it. You were at the right place at the right time, whatever you want to call it, and you just got an opportunity. You're an opportunist. You're not a hip hop informationalist. You're not a hip hop analyst. You're not a hip hop musician. You're not a hip hop culture keeper. You actually want our culture keepers to not even be known. Culture vultures. You actually want our cultural teachers and keepers to not be known. You would rather even profit and benefit off of this video with just a couple subscribers, with just a couple, views, with just a couple plays. But being that it's also on YouTube, you want to take over, take control. I won't be surprised if they take it down, honestly, because that's just what they're doing now. If you're not speaking what they want you to speak and all that stuff, somebody gonna flag it or tell on you or say something there's no due diligence at all. There's no, you know what I'm saying? No due diligence. They're just gonna cut you off. There's no due process of law here in the social media thing. So we need our own. I call hip hop to have its own social media platform. I call hip hop to have its own laws and things that govern us. I challenge hip hop to have its own security systems in place. That means also people, also hip hop police, so to speak. And I don't mean the police that the pig. Yes, I said pig. Yes, that's the word I use. I chose freedom of speech. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about hip hop police, like where we can have our own stuff. We can govern ourselves, rule ourselves. Everybody who wants to come in this got to go through a due process. You have to be indoctrinated with the culture. You have to be the culture. And I'm not talking go to UCLA, take the Slang 4 class, and now you hip hop, or take that one, hip hop class that you got to take in the culture so you can graduate in June. That's not what I'm talking about. Or go to USC and go to the film department and you watch the latest hip hop film with cats, and then now you all that ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about study, devoting yourself to study of a culture, not coming in like you running shit already. When you a new ass booty, you need to come in like you a new booty and learn. Take hints from people and real allies here. If you're not the culture, it's cool. You can become the culture. You just have a process. That don't mean you get to come to one class, get a certificate, and say, I'm hip hop now. Now let me go teach my trap yoga. Or now let me go teach my hip hop dance class. Just because you used to dance for the sports team or the NFL or the NBA or the hockey team or whatever it is, you used to be the cheer coach, and all, that don't mean you're hip hop. That meant that you used to be the cheer coach. And just because you black or Latin, don't mean you hip hop automatically. That don't just mean, oh yeah, I'm hip hop because I'm African descendant, and I just it might, depending on your birthright. It's your birthright. Do you accept it though? Because this comes with a set of rules and actions. You don't get to just say I'm hip hop and never make a change in your world and your life for the betterment of yourself and others. Right? That's all I'm saying. A lot of us say we hip hop and we don't live it. And that could just mean we've fallen off and lost our way a little bit because of the times at hand. I mean, look at this shit. Look at this president we got. Or at least the United States got. I ain't gonna call it mine. You're a president. There ain't no president. That orange dude, number 45, dude crazy. Government still shut down. Right? You can't even go to None of the government offices to discuss any issues. I got an IRS letter I'm trying to address. Went to the IRS office. They're like, no, government shutdown. We closed. We've been closed 2, 3 weeks now. Like, damn, we can't even. I got a bill that's due. What is it? Probably yesterday, and can't even discuss it. Nah, man. If I'm late, it's because you late, and you can't penalize me, right? But what if they do? Well, you should have paid, and then you could have just talked to us, and then like, nah, man, I ain't paying shit. Not when you owe me. You ain't rushing to pay me reparations. All these advances. My ancestors are the reason why you got a government, bro. Ancestors are the reason why you have anything called an IRS, bro. Yeah, this country, where they died, for sure. For sure. Nonetheless, we're gonna move ahead. So, let me see. Um, Again, classes will resume in Leimert Park Village. Speaking of Leimert Park Village, I am working on a website for the village in our effort to create and do a renaming of Leimert Park Village to Africa Town, like Koreatown, Chinatown, Thai Town, Little Tokyo, Little Bangladesh, Little Italy, Little Armenia, Little Ethiopia, all of these, towns, and black folks ain't got that. And that's from the Bay to LA. Have you seen Oakland lately? So this movement right here, support us. Support us. And I'm gonna do a cash tag for that so we can go ahead and we're setting everything up. I'm gonna do the website, sign the petition. I have an online petition. I believe it's up, I'm not sure. I'll post it next time. Sign the online petition. Come to Leimert Park in the village by the park to come sign the petition. Find me to sign the petition. If you're saying, hey, I need the link, once you signed it, send it out. Because we need something that's going to establish us. If we are continuing to be gentrified in places where we know we are, we know we in Oakland. See that whole barbecue Becky thing and the whole permit Patty and permit Betty and all that stuff in the Bay Area? That's because everybody's moving there. But if we don't have something that retain and maintain as our own, we're not going to have anything, family. So let's go ahead and get this movement going. This is a movement. Africa Town Movement. Africa Town Movement. ATM. Yeah. And go to your ATM, your Africa Town Movement, right? And bring a donation from your ATM, your automated teller machine, from your bank, right? Cash App, PayPal it. Send a donation, because you know what? Once we institute Los Angeles, it's going out. We got signatures from people from Atlanta, Miami, New York, Detroit, Vegas, the Bay, to support Los Angeles work. I'm talking South LA for real. They done closed off our little park and they made it a dog park, making people who used to sleep in that park sleep in the street. Making people who used to drum like me in that park drum on the street. You know, what's wrong with the street? It's the street. Why we can't be in the park? Why did you gate the whole park off so we can't even go enjoy something in our community? It's cool though, because we're going to build it up. What we need to do is go get reparations from these organizations, from these corporations that ain't paid taxes in over 200 years. That's why they get your taxes, because they haven't paid in 200 years. Yeah, look it up. Any of them, Nabisco, Kraft, you know what I'm saying, all of them, Kellogg's. You know why? Because their workers pay taxes. But also, when their workers weren't paying taxes, i.e. our ancestors, we never got nothing. I ain't talking about 40 acres and a mule. We worth more than that shit. But 40 acres would be nice, some damn land. They mess around and give you 40 acres in Alaska some damn where it's dark half the year and freezing the other half. You feel me? Mess around and give you something like that where you be like, well, damn. How am I supposed to get by on this? You said 40 acres. You weren't specific. I said be specific. You feel me? And we need to be much more specific. So I say we build all of these things and build a consortium and some frontliners to go to some of these corporations and have meetings and tell them that they need to have black workers, not only just workers. We need to have community allies, have an allyship, because it's more than just jobs that our communities need. They come to our communities, take and extract all of our money, close up and close down our mom and pop shops, don't give shit to the schools, shit to after school programs, or nothing educating ourselves and unindoctrinating ourselves. They're not going to do that. They don't want to get no money to that. Walmart was on Crenshaw. And when they left 2 years ago, they took 1,100 jobs out of the city. 1,100. That accounted for a tenth of all of the Walmarts that they closed because they cut out 11,000 jobs. And 1,100 of them came right from King and Crenshaw. Straight up. That's true facts. So what are them 1,100 people to do? When they go to work one day and they don't have a job, they clocking in and they can't. They told to go home. They got a little bit of severance check. What does that do to the community? He wasn't giving that shit no way, bro. He wasn't giving the Crenshaw district no money. It's all good though. We're talking about hip hop today, but these are the effects of how a mainstream corporation, a mainstream government corporation can take over and leave us nothing. But we must be on the watch for that. Let's be on the watch for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign out. 8. But I can't sign out without a freestyle. Oh, excuse me. I need some water though. I need some water. I need some water, y'all. Peace and blessings to you, family who's logged into me right now. I know some of y'all, I got some inboxes. Some of y'all say, hey, I didn't see nothing. I just heard somebody talking. You ain't got to see me. You ain't got to see what's going on. You just need to hear this information. Would you just want to see me talk and say the same stuff? Some people too caught up in imagery. Just listen. Listen to this information. Listen. These are nuggets. This is wisdom. Right? This is knowledge. This ain't just information. This can be used as knowledge of self, knowledge of community, knowledge of historical facts. Knowledge. Let's get it, family. Again, we're reading from the Gospel of Hip Hop, the first instrument presented by none other than the KRS-One, the Temple of Hip Hop. We read through the first chapter entitled A New Covenant, beginning on page 6. Today we began on page 8. And we read all the way through page 12, ending in verse 35. We did also touch on the definitions of hip hop, the 3 definitions that is also listed on page 63. Page 63. You about to hear a freestyle right now. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna just pick a word. You about to hear a freestyle. I'm gonna go wild, but my style's never free. Oh wow, I said what I say. All day, I am from the Bay, and that's Bay. I say Bray, I say J, you say Bay, I say Bay. You say J, I say K, I say May. Returning neighbors to the hood. We know that it's all good from Inglewood to Hollywood. When I say a prayer, it's said, it's broke up. I wake up the dead. Gunplay. All right, here we go. We got A, Bay, Blay, Bray, Shay, Clay, Day, Dre, A, Bay, Blay, Fray, Gay, Blay, Gray, Hey, J, K, Lay, Nay, Pay, Play, Pray, Quay, Ray, Say, Slay, Spay, Spray, Stay, Stray, Sway, They, Tray, Way, Yay, A, Bay, Afraid, I glay, and play, and wait, all day, lay, archway, array, astray, astray, away. Oh! No, this is an exercise I teach my students to build our bars up. You feel me? We build our bars up. We read the dictionary. Yes, we do. The rhyming dictionary. So I'm just reading the suffixes of ay. Okay. Now I'm on the two syllables. Letter B. Backstay, ballet, belay, beltway, benday, belgrade, betray, b-ray, by day, bikeway, birthday, blase, bobstay, boucher, boucher, boule, bouquet, bourre, breezeway, Broadway, buffet, byplay, byway, sachet, cafe, catway, causeway, shunday, chalet, chambray, sachet, sire, cliche, cloquet, crude, convey, corre, coude, coupe, crawlway, crochet, crochet, coquet, crossway, coupe, cure, cypre, da, the ray, DK, DJ, defray, delay, dingay, dismay, display, distray, donne, doomsday, doorway, dasse, downplay, daje, driveway, duvet, embay, entree, ampe, essay, estray, e-way, fairway, fillet, 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 fireclay, fishway, famblay, foodway, flyway, folkway, footway, foray, for bay, for ray, for play, for stay, for may, for tay, for way, for shave, for yay, for play, for gray, for pay, for pay, freeway, freeze, gangway, gamay, gangway, gateway, leeway, glacé, gourmet, guideway, gunplay, halfway, hallway, hatchway, headway, hearsay, heyday, highway, homestay, hooray, horseplay, inray, inlay, invade, essay, say, that say, getway, cornet, lay, leeway, lifeway, imday, my way, Monday, mangray, masse, hey, mayday, melee, mete, midway, mislay, misplay, moray, neve, nise, noonday, gooseway, obey, obey, okay, ole, ombre, opre, outlay, outtry, outstay, outweigh. It's so many I can keep going. They got three syllables, four syllables. You feel me? This is just a way to build your game up. If you don't have a rhyming dictionary, go get one. I'm reading from the Webster's Compact Rhyming Dictionary. Um, I don't even remember when this mug was published, but I got it back in college. Glad I did. I should have read it back in college. Real talk, right? Real talk. But I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, this is copyrighted a long time ago. It's kind of dope though. I love it. But there's plenty of them. Go get a rhyming dictionary, build your bars up. Most of them words I usually look up and I place in rhymes at some point. So just a little tidbit. All of us MCs out there, yeah, feel me. Good love, and I'm gone. Hey, we just gonna jam out on this. Uh. Hey, 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 hey. This is what I wish for. This is what I wish for. This is what I wish for. No more money now. This is what I want for. This is what I want for. Little more honey now. This is what I wish for. This is what I wish for. A little more money, y'all. This is what I love on. This is for my levels. A little more honey now. you know, you know. Peace and blessings to the family. Give thanks, one love. Again, this is Hope for Hip Hop. Hope number 4, Hip Hop. Look out for our website. Look out for our other launchings. Join our mailing list. I should put my email. Yeah, let's put the email. So people can join the mailing list. Yep. What we wish for. What we wish for. Little more money now. Just a little more. That's TRUTHEMEDIA. That's at Gmail. Okay, you can reach us there. I'll add a player. 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 Hey, give thanks, give thanks. You go ahead. All right, peace, y'all. One love. Ashe.